Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to August 10th, the Great Convergence. This is a day, this whole alignment actually over the past couple days and going into this next week is truly a time where Virgos, the collective, honestly, truly, is stepping into your authentic electric power. There is a planetary parade going on. It is a great convergence in such a prolific way. It's where there's a new path, a new road aligned for you, and it's because of you. Now, before we get started, I just want to also say thank you guys to each and every one of you, because you are what make this not only a family, but make this channel a success. All your views, interactions, likes, shares, subscribes. Truly, it's not the algorithm that picks it up. It's you guys that the algorithm responds to. And it truly is what I respond to as well in these messages, in creating this channel, in getting all of these messages out to you in a way that it makes it a success. It's all because of you, and I love you back. So, to get us started right away, let's recap on what's going on, because truly there is a planetary parade going on right now. It is a great convergence, and it's all about a true great awakening, not just for Virgos, but for the collective, in the realization that the power truly is us. Our consciousness can change everything. So we have a truly rare astrological event happening here. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are all aligned. And 4 of them, depending upon where you are actually visible to the naked eye. Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury are all visible to the eye. And then you may need some, like either a telescope or some binoculars to view Neptune, and then also Uranus as well. But either way, this is where it's like we can literally see astrology along with our astronomy aligning in the skies. And it truly reminds us that we are all connected. We're going to feel this. Now is the time to tap into that collective consciousness in such a profound way, such a personal way, for personal growth and transformation. It's urging us to embrace new experiences, redefine values, trust our intuition, create a more fulfilling and sustainable future, especially with Mars trining Pluto at this time as well. This is where we are unstoppable in our energy. This is personal growth, spiritual awakening, rising above challenges by leveraging our strength. But truly, it's liberating. This is like triathlete energy and endurance and focus. And just to prepare you as well, I really hope it picks up because it's so prolific. Just like this just like this alignment with this grand air trine, the Nile is opening up outside. I've got this beautiful thunderstorm going on. So I hope the thunder picks up in this as well, because for me during my meditation this morning, it's been prolific. It's been profound. But the biggest messages from the cosmos right away is to clear your mental clutter and your physical clutter. You'll feel so much better, and we'll get into it. I'm going to get sciencey on you guys in this reading. I'm just going to fully forewarn you. This is prolific energy, and it's profound in the way of, like I say, the power is within us. Bet on yourself. Take chances. Reach for your dreams. You've got this because you are the master of your creations. You're not the victim by any means. And more importantly, stop pushing against what is. Align with it and move on. I cannot stress enough, the planetary alignments right now are so incredibly great. They are setting us up for this great awakening, this great convergence, to step into our authentic electric power. This is electric in so much, like, I stammer to think about how to try and even describe this to you. But like I say, I'll get sciencey on you here in this reading. That way we can get into it. But just to bring us up to speed on this. So we've got the I don't know why I'm going to save these guys to the end here. But we've got the grand air trine that just aligned. Did not mean to rhyme. Did it again. But either way, this is where Mars is in Libra now in our 2nd house. That's our house of work, income, salary. Also to Pluto, thank you, is in in Aquarius, in our 6th house of work. Also and aligning us, I should say too, to our daily routines, living our dream life in our day-to-day here and now. The moon, our full moon in Aquarius, was also coupled up, sitting in our 6th house alongside Pluto during this time as well. Now on the 10th, she's moving over into Pisces. Now's the time to dream big and realize just how powerful we are. Uranus in this Grand Trine is in Gemini in our 10th house. That's career, fame, reputation, honors, achievements. All 3 of them, Mars, Pluto, and Uranus, are all at 120 degrees of harmony. And they are also at 0 to 2 degrees of new beginnings. And they're helping us channel our gifts, our talents, our natural inclinations. This is insight, liberation, and decisive action all coming together in a harmonious flow of ease and alignment. And so are we. Top that off, we also have a mini Grand Trine between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, which will be with us through May of 2029. The full moon in Aquarius that just happened yesterday before she moved into Pisces today, or moves into Pisces today, depends upon when you watch this video, added some emotional passion and expansion of genius energy, calling us to see the future from a fresh perspective, release old patterns to make room for our future and for a better alignment. Now we also have with this a great kite forming here as well. Mars is opposing Saturn and Neptune. Both of those guys are in Aries in our 8th house until September 1st. So use this energy. That is action, initiation in our 8th house of transformation. And it's at the tail of the kite. This is providing us a foundational balance, a fulcrum, if you will, in a lot of ways, providing us tension, revealing how we see ourselves, our identity, our leadership when it comes to truly aligning with living our dream life, how we're showing up for ourselves, how we're building wealth, how we're building structure, how we're truly aligning to our purpose, our soul's calling, realizing who we are, the power that we have, and like I say, how our consciousness can change everything. And when you realize that your inner world creates your outer world in such a prolific, profound way, then you can start truly seeing the significance of what happens when we are all connected, that we are all connected. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Because like I say, it's not the algorithm that picks up these messages. The reason why this channel is a success, is supported, is because of each and every one of you. It's meant to respond, just like I am to you. If you guys hated these messages, which don't get me wrong, I have some haters. We do. Just going to say it. Just the other week, I think, and I don't post these because I make a collective conscious choice not to perpetuate negativity, but this one did make me laugh a little bit. What was it? It was, I was called a Mickey Mouse voice with some pasty pale hands or something like that. So points for creativity, just saying. But either way, coming in with the tarot, before we even get through all the astrology, this is where our investments with the Seven of Pentacles, what we invest our energy and our time into, especially with Mars right now too, opposing Saturn and Neptune, and coming into a trine alignment with Pluto. This is where your harvest, your return on investment, your promotions are truly being reflected and seen in the 3D world. It's due to your planning. It's due to your work. It's also due to the blessings from Jupiter's energy as well in our 11th house. And remember, he'll be there in our 11th house. Hopes, wishes, dreams, long-term aspirations, optimism, blessings, luck through June of 2026. And it's grounding us in our solar plexus, which was just activated with that 8-8 Lion's Gate portal. Say that 10 times fast. But that's knowing who we are, why we're here. More importantly, that we are enough. We always have been. We just may have been torn down, may have forgotten, but that's the whole school of life, is the purpose of it, is remembrance of our soul's consciousness, our soul's power, and that we are all connected. And when we realize the power of our connection, that we are all one, how powerful we are together. This is gorgeous, prolific energy. And truly, Again, with Jupiter's energy, double back to back. Pisces, dream as big as the universe. Ground it with your comforts. It is not that you're meant to suffer in order to earn love. It's that that's your foundation, comfort, stability, your dreams. Lift it up and being blessed with your voice as you shine in your authentic electric power. This is coming to a completion of enlightenment in the way of truly realizing who you are, why you're here, ending a cycle, breaking limited beliefs, conditioned beliefs that we are meant to be less than, that we don't have the power. And it's integrating your manifestations, your power, your collective consciousness with the universe, with each other, with your internal world in the healing that needs to happen, releasing what has no longer served us with that full moon in Aquarius as well, but coming to a point where we're truly seeing and manifesting material success, abundance, complacency, happiness, enjoyment, our wishes into our 3D reality, into our everyday life. And so, like I say, Saturn too is also not only helping us with building wealth and structure alongside Neptune, aligning us with between ourselves, our identity, our leadership when it comes to truly aligning with our dream life, but Saturn is also sextiling with Uranus. Uranus is our breakthrough, our revolutionary planet, right? Ruler of our Pluto, or of our Aquarian energy from that full moon. These two, this sextile, is opening and rewiring our sense of self, sense of breakthroughs and structure, discipline, wealth, communication, adaptability. We've also got Mercury going direct tomorrow on the 11th. Stay tuned for the weekly read, because when Mercury goes direct, we will have a bit of a shadow period, but I tell you what, it's like lightning speed when it comes to taking off. This is where we're riding a thunderbird like nobody's business. And oh my gosh, that was peeking out. Oh, I got goosebumps. If you do too, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts, because when Mercury goes direct, and remember, he's in Leo. He is in our 12th house of spirituality, of our divinity, of our psychic alignment, our untapped potential, our strengths, hidden abilities. This is where truly he's coming in, especially when he goes direct, to realign our hearts and our minds, bring flow into our lives, that we are not just a body. And more importantly, bring in the downloads from Soul's Temple, because our sun is in our 12th house in Leo right alongside him. He's helping enlighten us with the sun's energy, and how much of our energy, how much of our spirit plays a role when it comes to our energy and our energetic role in the experience of life. This is reaching and attaining our 10 of Pentacles. This is putting our desires into action in the here and now, rooted in our Virgoan energy, but also too being blessed with Venus. And remember, Venus is awakening right alongside us right now. She's bunked up with Jupiter in our 11th house, asking us, reawakening, rebirthing, what do you want your destiny to look like? And between the two of them, spoiler alert, on the 12th, they're coming into conjunction with each other. They are coming in to deliver something. Hopes, wishes, dreams, long-term aspirations, collective humanitarian efforts, support systems, in such a prolific way that creates a transition, a beginning, and it comes to the manifestations that roots us in a stable foundation of success, this material success, lasting wealth with Saturn's energy too, and lasting prosperity, lasting, sustainable, loving relationships when it comes to family life, financial security, financial foundations and secure foundations, family achievements, and in business too, especially with that Grand Trine between Mars, Pluto, and Uranus. Because remember, they're affecting our 2nd house of worth, 6th house of work, daily lifestyle, daily routines, habits, and career, fame, reputation, what we put our energy into with honors and achievements, how we want to be seen when we contribute to our humanitarian efforts, what we contribute in this life to the collective. This is gorgeous. This is coming together in such a beautiful way. Now let's look at these, because there's a few of them that came out in reverse. So check this out. And we're not even done with the astrology yet. I just want to tell you that too. But this is where, before we get into this, I just want to spoiler alert this even more. Venus and Jupiter. So all of this together, I should say as well, is driving us towards significant change, breaking free from limited beliefs. And that's what these cards are all the way. Moving towards our liberation, pushing us to lean into pleasure with that Taurian energy. Wait, there it is. Okay, got it. To lean into pleasure, out of suffrage, prioritize our well-being, infusing each and every day with joy, building new foundations, not just for success, but for sustainability. It's all focused collectively and individually on 4 myths that we've been conditioned to have and have been led down in a path to believe that we are powerless. We'll get into them. There's 4 myths. I'm going to get sciencey, like I told you. With the Queen of Cups, though, this is depression. This is feeling like we are a victim, emotional exhaustion, knowing that we have to, or being led to believe, that in order to survive in this world, we have to exhaust our resources, and that includes our time and our energy. That we've got to work a 9 to 5 for pennies, basically, in order to be emotionally manipulated, there we go, gaslit by our financial systems, by our political systems, by our governmental systems, that we have to basically compete against each other through negative vibrations, with jealousy being taken from, through needing to have creative blockages, be withdrawn, go through traumas and suffrage in order to persevere and earn love, when truly love is the universal language in life. Love is the universal language for everything that everything responds to vibrationally. It's not just a feeling, it's a vibration, it's a frequency. All of this preconditioning has led us to close off that root chakra, close off our foundation, reject or not even know how to receive a 10 of Cups when it comes in reverse like this, through upset, through destruction, through shattered values, through dissatisfaction, lower vibrations all the way, through disunity, discord, arguments, diversity, breakups, conflicts, and again, 2 root chakras basically being catapulted into a place that can't recover. This is also too closing down our solar plexus, having to work too hard for a place that's basically squandering our talents and our gifts, not truly embracing our soul's contracts, our soul's gifts, sitting with our hands idle, thinking that we need to give up on dreams in order to serve someone else's, being careless with our time and our energy, or unfocused in knowing where to go, rejecting again, feeling powerless in obtaining our true stability when it comes to the 8. And again, we just had the Lionsgate portal. This is all going to change. And this next week, stay tuned for the weekly read, because this is where we truly have the luckiest week in all of August. But let's get into why we've been preconditioned in this, how we got here. So, first of all, I just want to clarify, we are not powerless. We hold the power. The first myth that we have been led to believe is that biological processes employ Newtonian physics. Quantum physics has helped reveal that the universe is not a duality of matter and energy. The entire universe is made of energy. We ourselves included. We are not separate. We are connected. We are so much power when we are unified, when we come together, when we can accomplish together through the power of our intent, as opposed to when we are divided, when we're segregated, when we differentiate ourselves, when we hold ourselves above others. We're seeking justice at this time. That was the whole point, the whole awakening of genius when it comes to the full moon that we just had in Aquarius. And remember, not only is it in our 6th house for Virgos, right up against side Pluto, in our house of work, daily routines, daily habits. This is making us question, not only channeling our spiritual warrior, but question what success truly means. There's a reason why our ancestors lived as shepherds, lived in harmony with our spirit. They invoked and truly acknowledged that spirit resides within everything. Plants, animals, ourselves, we're all working in cooperation. We've gone away from that to a point where we've forgotten that. And now we're driving ourselves into a place where it's not sustainable. That's what this Great Awakening is all about. That's what New Earth versus New AI in a lot of ways is all about. It's thinking and utilizing our biological technology, our spirit, as opposed to what was programmed, what was preconditioned. Because remember, consciousness versus sentient consciousness is a very debatable aspect. And I told you I was going to get sciencey on you. So if you're liking where this is going, put a heart in the comments below, like, share, subscribe, because truly the algorithms respond to you. However you choose to elevate this message is how it gets out, how we can share it with everyone to lift everyone up to this awakening. So the second myth as well, epigenetics control biology. We've been led to believe that our genes control our lives, that if my parents had heart disease, if there was cancer that ran in my family, the traumas that have been endured are meant to be passed down and relived. One of the worst things that I think most painful experiences I've ever had, because I didn't come from a good background, right? I was an early working adult, as I call it, when I was 14. But one of the biggest things that I've had to overcome in my life, had to heal from, and trust me, it still hurts in some ways, but it's also, I'm free from it in a lot of others because it's not my pain to carry. It's not my wound to carry. I've released it. But in all the hurts, as I was witnessing, experiencing, feeling my parents tear me down in ways financially, emotionally abusive, gaslighting. I came from two very narcissistic, wounded people. My family has had a tradition of this as well through generations, as I've gotten to learn. But one of the hardest hurtful things was to have to witness and experience them hurting me physically, emotionally, in so many ways, mentally, and then have them come back and tell me, which I will say to this day, they've never apologized. I'm not looking for one either. But was to have them tell me, and just so you know, I've given you more than my parents ever gave me. That was my awakening for them, my freedom in a lot of ways, for as hurtful as it was, to know just how wounded they were and how much they carried, because now they passed it down into their parenting techniques. And we'll get into how this all correlates, I promise. But the epigenetics of biology, we've been led to believe that our genes control our lives, that we are victims of our heredity. That is the farthest thing from the truth. Epigenetics means control above the genes. Even our skin, our epidermis, it's above the genes. It's above, on the surface, right? Above the surface of things. This is where our environment, with epigenetics, truly how we perceive our environment, how our environment is around us, how we're able to adapt to it, truly controls our genes. Since we control both, we're not victims. We're masters of our genes. This is where we move into enlightenment, spiritual growth, acknowledgement, just like our ancestors had for thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, that our spirit holds so much more power than just beyond the body. It impacts each and every one of us. And more importantly, it's not through suffering. It's taking on the perspective that how we interact, how we perceive our environment allows us the power of masters, not the breaking down, the forgetting of our power, and holding that victim mentality, holding that negative vibration, that we are powerless, that we are trapped. This is as well where Neptune is realigning us to the dream life, that we are truly shepherds working in cooperation. And that leads us to the third one as well. Survival of the fittest. We have grown through generations in believing that survival is for only the strongest, that the weakest are the ones that fall and are meant to fall, weeding out the weak of the herd, right? Well, when you look at some different types of plants, particularly what I love the most is the story of the redwoods. When you look at plants, they are so much more evolved than us in this fashion. It's not the strongest that survive. Our survival isn't about power or through power of prevailing over others, taking from others. It's through cooperation. It's through harmony. It's through balance. And so why I bring up the redwoods is it's so cool. So through their roots, not only is it their way of balancing out the microbials, and they also talk with the science of mushrooms too, which I find enlightening, but it's their technology of communication. So what's really cool about redwoods is the ones that are closest to the ocean or closest to a body of water, the ones that are farthest away from it, can actually talk to each other over miles. And so the ones that are experiencing drought can say, hey, I'm suffering over here, voluntarily or involuntarily, through their root system, through their communication system. And the ones over here that have too much water or that have adequate water resourcing will actually send water through their roots over miles, all the way to the ones who need it most. Same thing as the canopies. They open each other up for the younger generations, for that regeneration, and thus providing a sustainable, a successional plan for their whole collective through cooperation, through finding harmony, balance. It is so prolifically advanced comparatively to this whole idea that survival of the fittest is what makes us stronger. It is not our power of taking power from others that makes us strong. It's through cooperation. It's through working in harmony, working in balance, not only with ourselves, but with our surroundings, with our environment, with the animals, with the plants, with our water resources. Everything that we take care of takes care of us. And when we can plan for 7 generations and like down the line, that's why the Native Americans, when they planned for successional planning in this stewardship fashion and mentality and practice, that's why they prospered. Just saying. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts, because we also have an area with the Queen of Swords coming in, taking on these new perspectives. Say that 10 times fast. Standing in our values, in our integrity with strong character, in our creativity, through our organization, being able to articulate, share with each other, tap in with each other, standing in our principles and living our principles. There was a time when our word was our bond. We've gone away and forgotten that value as well as a culture. This was our higher intelligence, our collective consciousness, and it balances the scales, particularly with Virgos, with being the healers and the teachers of the zodiac, which, side tangent, we embody all of the zodiacs, not only within our chart, but within the body. Talk about prolific. This is with our throat chakra, right? So long ago, when it came to conflict, survival of the fittest, issues, ideas, thoughts, actions, sharing, we silenced our throat chakra, or we've allowed our throat chakra to be silenced. This is basically about allowing ourselves to be heard, as well as allow others to be heard as well. Allowing information, sharing of information to flow in as easily as it flows out, so that we can make collectively good decisions through discernment, are aware of the agreements and the consent that we give when we make our agreements, as opposed to just subconsciously or unconsciously looking at what we take in, what we believe, the gaslighting through the media, through our government systems, through how we've been told we have to live in order to survive. That's where we've been gaslit, told a false narrative when it comes to living in our current day society. And then the biggest fourth myth as well that we have is that evolution is a random process. It's not random. It's chaos. Chaos is never random. It's the same thing as when you look at the rebirth or the transition, the transmutation of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. When you open up that, why am I escaping the word here? Their cocoon, not cocoon though, because butterflies have a different thing. Chrysalis, there we go, got it. Okay, put a heart in the comments below for my brain fart. But either way, when you look and open up that chrysalis, not to say that you'd want to, you'd look at it and see that the cells are realigning That's chaos coming into order. That's evolution. That's what truly evolution is. It's not randomness. It's the process of alignment. That's what happens through evolution, is also through adaptation. We are much stronger and much greater than just our body. We're at this pinnacle in a lot of ways too. If you think of an hourglass between the separations and diversity in low vibrations and higher vibrations, new earth or a new organization of control. Negative vibrations, higher vibrations, and at the middle, it's concentrated, right? And there's a reason for that when you think of an hourglass. It's so that we can weed out through chaos all that doesn't serve us, all that's not working. Our monetary systems, even when you look at the United States, for instance, in the idea of balancing inflation, well, why do we continually build into a system that has the power to print money at any time? When money is just paper. Money is a note of bond of integrity. That's what it was meant to be for. The only reason why it was created in the first place was because when, and this goes back into history, but when the English came over and decided to colonize the New World and take from the Native American cultures that were already established and prosperous here, they had to convince the settlers to work for them. They did it through taxes. They said, no, wait a minute, we're going to gaslight you. You owe us for being here. Never mind the Native Americans, by the way. We're just taking it from them. Horrible, right? It baffles me when we think of these things, or that we actually accomplish this gaslit aspect so successfully. This is where we started to forget who we are, but we've bought into systems that don't work. This funneling system allows us to weed out what hasn't worked. It's not meant to be that 1% get to prosper and 99% get to suffer, or get to be led to believe that they have to suffer in order to achieve something that truly is false in the first place. This is a great awakening in such a bigger way when we realize that the power of our consciousness, especially collectively, is all energy, and it resides within us. Each and every zodiac resides within us. The planetary parade that's aligning right now in this great convergence is all within us. We are working and aligning right alongside it. And this is where I'm going to get even more sciencey on you too. So the realization, the awakening, is really about realizing the epiphany that we are much greater than just our body. Our mind has much more greater potential, our divine potential, our spiritual potential, than just the 10% of the brain that we use. Our hearts are even stronger than our minds. But if we don't use our full potential, we don't realize it. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Or at least in the way that you forget it. It's never lost, though. We just have to remember. Same way that everyone has the power of channeling telepathy, more correctly, telepathy. There's a mind-blowing revolution. Think about that for the moment. So telepathy is tapping into the vibrational aspects, thoughts, feelings of others. It truly is telepathy. Remote viewing, whole collective consciousness. Yogis have been utilizing remote viewing since ages, right? Can't even channel how much, put a year on this, because this is timeless abilities that we've always had. Our whole collective consciousness, tapping into that is how we're able to do it. Somebody else has seen it, experienced it. We're able to tap into that knowledge when we connect with each other. It's through our unity, not our diversity, that makes us stronger. Going at it from more of a scientific perspective as well, that's measurable, just to give you some grounding with it. This is where, if you take a look at this, our thoughts that we think create an electromagnetic field that extends far beyond our body, far beyond just the length of our arms, just the length of our legs, just, beyond the length of the height of ourselves. We also have a pterodactyl field that goes around the heart, and the heart math we find by the heart industry is that our electromagnetic energy from the heart is 1,000 times more powerful than just that of the mind. Let that sink in for a moment. And so when we start to really influence our energetic field, our electromagnetic field in a very powerful way, in this way, our thoughts truly exist around the body with momentum. And it creates a motion, because everything, energy is always in perpetual motion, right? It's never stagnant. It lasts, and we find that it's actually measurable that it lasts. What our thoughts in our energy field actually do with that momentum is they last for about 20 to 30 days, sometimes even longer dependent upon the intensity of how we feel them. Because remember, our heart energy, our electromagnetic field of our heart, that extends roughly about like 7 to 8 feet beyond the body within, that's what we call our aura in a lot of ways too. It can even perpetuate it in a way through, especially with events, experiences, particularly traumas. They can reside not only at a cellular functionality and affect our cellular functionality, but they can transfer and have the ability to transfer through lifetimes, bonding to our soul consciousness. And they can even change through our ancestry, change in our ancestry, like Holocaust survivors. It's been studied and measured that their ancestors actually hold more anxiety, hold more cellular dysfunctions like heart disease, for instance, when it comes to the traumas that have been passed down them hereditarily. And that's where, again, that false aspect of epigenetics controlled biology has been sold to us, because it's that we've been led to believe that we're the victims, we're the product of our genes, not that we have the ability to change their functionality, break that functionality. And it's actually very simple, but it's hard as well, right? We can break that cycle by changing our vibrational frequency. So we can break the vibrational perpetuations by changing our frequency, by stopping the practice of that vibration through letting go, raising our vibration, replacing it through transmutation, with healing, with love, with unity, and also with the understanding that we need patience, because we need to also understand that there's a lag time, right? Same way that it takes roughly 28 days to break a habit, it takes energy in the body, around the body, perpetuates in momentum for about 20 to 30 days. So is it no wonder that it takes 28 days to break a habit? And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, like, share, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into the tarot a little bit as well before I get back into the science, because it's beautiful. This is where, this came first. This is where expect things to move rather rapidly. This great awakening in realizing that our conscious, our spirit, acknowledging that our mind, body, and spirit is the true grand trine within each and every one of us. Expect things to move rather fast when it comes to New World Order versus New World Earth. And more importantly, we'll get into it, but once we realize the power within, that we are all connected, that we're also connected to the earth, we'll get into it. Expect things to move quite quickly when it comes to our growth, when it comes to our fast progress, when it comes to knowing that we are truly the masters. When all these simple sayings have been right in front of our faces, right? Like that God is within you, or be the change. They all sound great, but have we realized the channeling of those gifts, those talents, that power, that knowledge in a true, genuine way? This is where the planetary parade, the great convergence, is awakening us by helping us, opening up that new path of our authentic electric power. It's truly prolific in such a beautiful way. And for Virgos in particular, it's insight, it's liberation, it's decisive action. It's our divine potential mirrored with our worth, how we conduct ourselves being a sign of service, how we're known when it comes to our career, our fame, honors, achievements. This is a grand new beginning. And like I say too, or like I said before, we've got a mini trine that'll be with us between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto for the next 4 years. We just had the 8-8 portal, the Lionsgate portal, alongside this Grand Trine alignment, open the door. We had the full moon in Aquarius awakening and opening our eyes. We've got Mercury in our 12th house of spirituality right alongside the sun, giving us this information, this ancient knowledge in such a beautiful way alongside Sirius with that 8-8 portal alignment, which is our spiritual sun. We also have Saturn and Neptune aligning us to building structure, foundational wealth, legacy towards this knowledge in our soul's purpose, in living our dream life. We've got Venus and Jupiter in Cancer, bunked up in our 11th house. Dreams, hopes, realities, humanitarian efforts, support systems, collective consciousness, all being blessed with optimism, with raising our vibrations, with truly realizing the power that's within us, calling the myths out as they are, that we were led to believe that we're powerless when truly we are the universe. We hold the universe. Some call it source, some call it God. Whether what I love too is when we stop looking outside of ourselves, whether that be through religion, because religion and all of its good faith efforts was meant to try and be a human existence of articulation in what we describe as our connection to a higher power. Through time, it can be weaponized. It can be gaslit or mistranslated, mistransmuted in a way where we lose the knowledge. We've lost the knowledge that power, God, is within us, that the only way out is through Jesus, right? It's through Christ consciousness. You see how that's been translated incorrectly for the need of power and control from the 1% as opposed to the collective empowerment. We've brought God all the way outside of ourselves, outside of this earth, to a point that now we're starting to see through government, monetary systems, religious systems, even too when you look at addictions, we're looking outside of ourselves. This is a great awakening to realize, epiphanies to realize that the power has been with us, is within us. We, as the power, together, is truly the revolution when it came to this full moon, when it comes to this great convergence, when it comes to this planetary parade of electric power, this new path, this new road, this new earth. And if that resonates, like I say, by all means, share your thoughts, put a heart in the comments below. And again, too, like I said, I'll say it again, you guys are truly the algorithm, not the algorithm picking up this message. So if this resonates with you, please, by all means, know that every interaction that you choose to make to lift this message, to build this family together, to lift this message and elevate it out, the algorithm responds to you. And that is the same way that vibrational frequencies work when it comes to the universe. We hold the power. The power is within us. It has been here all along. This is fast growth when it comes to this empowerment and this enlightenment. This is also, too, I hope you heard that thunder. That just gave me goosebumps and made my ears ring. This is where we all come into harmony. We start to truly bring joy into our lives. We start to look at this complex energy aspect that's us, that's the world, that's entangled together. And we start taking time out to rest and enjoy success as opposed to try and chase the bag, right? Chase other people's dreams, and instead move into a place of romance, tranquility, family, prosperity, harmony, balance, cooperation, through judgment. This is the time for the truth to come forward. Resolution, karma working in our favor because truly we're aligning to it. Karma works with us just the same way. It's frequency. It's through forgiveness, release. Like I say, trauma is held in the body, but it's also held through our hereditary aspects, through our ancestry, through our cellular functionality, through our soul's bond to it, without the idea that we hold the power to change our frequency, to heal, to let go, to raise our vibration, to transmute the energy, to choose love over hate, to choose unity over diversity. This is where we can stand in our honesty. This is our judgment. And justice is for us. Justice is in our favor. This is where, if we're spoiled for choice, we can carry out the desires that we have. We have options. We are never trapped. We are never limited. We're only tempted, gaslit by false beliefs. Utilizing this discernment with the epiphanies, with the knowledge Our vibrational field, with the knowledge too that our vibrational field responds the very same way that our cells do in the body. And that once we control our inner world, we actually truly realize that in the same way, we control our outer world. Now let's talk about that. And it's through our work, it's through our action, it's through focusing on our craft. This is going towards expertise, education, goals, new careers, mastery of who we are, why we're here, what our soul contracts are, what each and every one of us sign up to learn, to elevate, to remember about our power. We can then step outside of ourselves and think even bigger. So, like I say, our vibrational field responds in a very same way that our cells do in the body. Once we control our inner world, we control our outer world. And when we realize that in the same way that our body is 70% water, we can then connect the fact that our world is 70% water. In that same way that we have an electromagnetic field, so does Earth. And when we see that our thoughts and our emotions around us affect our world around us, we can also see and tap into the collective and the collective power, the collective subconscious, to create our collective reality together with the power of knowing that we are all connected. So like I was saying, telepathy, or as I would like to more correctly put it, telepathy, because it's connecting to other people's thoughts, other people's feelings, emotions. Telepathy is aligning vibrationally with somebody else. When you see in couples as well, couples that are together and that spend a lot of time together, cellularly, vibrationally, they align to each other. That's why you can see it manifest in really cute, adorable ways where they start actually picking out the same outfits and stuff. They're starting to act like each other, take on the same mannerisms. That's why they can finish each other's sentences. Same thing as twins, right? You're aligned vibrationally with someone else when you have telepathy. And to some degree, to varying degrees, one over the other, we choose to align to that, right? It's not that only certain people have it. Some people are naturally more inclined to be sensitive to it, sure. But really, it's something that can be trained. It's knowledge. It's our natural innate power that we either choose to consciously utilize or subconsciously utilize. Everybody channels in the work that you do, in the craft that you do, in your calling. If you're an artist, you channel it through what you create. If you're a musician, you channel it through what you play musically. Same thing with words. Your power is in your words. Say if you're an author, if you're a poet, if you're a songwriter, all of that is channeling. How we channel our emotions, and that goes across the gambit, allows us to transmute through that channeling. Same thing as I'm doing with these cards, right? That's why I use tarot, is to help me with articulating, channel the emotions, the energies that we're all tapping into in these videos. Everyone can do this. I'm not special by any means. It's just a matter of training yourself, awakening to the power that's within you. That's why I always say, take what resonates, leave the rest. But more importantly, know that you have the power to create your masterpiece. Also, too, same thing as remote viewing. Remote viewing is seeing what someone else already has or is currently viewing. You can be trained to do this, and it comes with the idea of going down further and relaxing the brain and our brain waves, our brain frequencies, to a meditative state. And so, true story, meditating just 5 to 10 minutes a day not only focuses on raising your elevation or your frequencies, raising your vibration, but you actually end up being a magnet. Naturally, you're magnetized. People are more attracted to you. The energies that you call in, the vibrations that you call in and feel during your meditation are attracted to you. Vibration, the universe matches energies. Same thing as the algorithm does. Same thing as we do when we're called to each other. If you think negative thoughts, you're going to see negative people. And that's even at a subconscious level. So we may not even be aware that we're doing it. This is the enlightenment with this full moon, this great awakening, this planetary parade of marrying conscious and subconscious so that we do it coherently. Same thing as marrying our heart, brain, earth harmony with doing it coherently. Knowing our heart math, realizing our, as I like to put it, because I like to put humor on it, realizing the power of our sass, our science, our art, our spirituality. They're all connected and they're within each and every one of us. Same thing as tapping into our Akashic records. Energy never dies, right? Energy changes. It's evolution. Change is the only thing that we can count on because energy is not stagnant. It's always in motion, right? That's the laws of physics in a very scientific way and in a very simply put way. Our Akashic records are simply just tapping into knowledge that we have already accumulated. We just forgot how to access it. When you meditate, when you drop from those alpha and those beta waves down into those further levels of relaxation, you're able to channel, to open your channels, to receive this information. This is our ancient technology. Each one of us has this. Energy never dies. It's still there. It's just we forgot how to access it. And then in that same way, it changes. That's where we can bring order to chaos through alignment. It's our authentic energy. It's our authentic electricity of power, of us, of Earth, of the universe, of the multiverse, because transcending time and space is our energy, love, our frequency. Your consciousness can change everything in your life, in our lives. Same thing as how the saying of the new earth is aligned with 144. It's not 144,000 people that only get to survive and that the earth is going to die. That is not it at all. It's a frequency. And when enough of us align to that frequency, we start to realize the power of our collective consciousness, our collective intent in how we can change our outcomes to going towards new earth, not one world order. And if that resonates, by all means, like I say, share your thoughts, put a heart in the comments below, elevate this message, because truly each one of you, each one of your interactions with sharing, liking, subscribing, particularly though I want to say sharing this message with someone you think needs to hear it. That's what gets the response out there to awaken all of us to a higher vibrational frequency so that we together as a collective can change our outcomes for the betterment of everyone. Now, with spirit animal totems, I just want to do these before we go. This is also where it's like we are tapping into it, this great awakening, with this great convergence. And like I say, stay tuned, because this next week, things are aligning in such a prolific way. This is the luckiest week of August that we're walking into. New path, new road, authentic electric power, planetary parade aligned with us, right along with us when it comes to liberation, insight, decisive action, infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. We just forgot our power. The world of love surrounds each and every one of us. Beauty transforms it. Listen to the spirits of light and abandon the darkness. That goes along with what you choose to take in. So when you look at, next time you look at what videos you click on, make a conscious effort, married with your subconscious, about what you choose to take in. Because what you choose perpetuates through you for the next 20 to 30 days. And when you see that consequence, when you see or realize just how powerful it is with cause and effect, not consequence, that's probably a better word, cause and effect, you can realize that you're not ordinary. That's what creates the legendary within each and every one of us, and together with our power of intent. It's through our partnerships when it comes to the puffin. It's through accepting ourselves and our colorful personalities, our confidence about being us, choosing joy and incorporating joy, love, unity into our lives each and every day, and in each and every thought, each and every interaction, each and every action. This is the time to come together as a community and let it nourish ourselves, like each other. It also will help protect each other. We're meant to be stewards. We're not meant to be owners. This is the time as well to ask for help. If you need a lift up, let others lift you up. Teamwork gives us the best results. It's through cooperation that our evolution brings chaos into order. It's the process of alignment. And it truly is from our assertiveness in silence through our meditation, 5 to 10 minutes a day, like I said before. This is where we find our power. This is where we can relax our brain to receive, to get ourselves into the proper frequency, to match our heart-brain frequency and align it through grounding with the earth, to claim our leadership role and take action. Know where you want to go, what you want to do. Have the courage and confidence to succeed, because together is how we rise. Now, before we go as well, because I know I always tell you meditation, and I hope this video truly enlightens you as to why I keep telling you it in so many ways. A wise woman once said, especially because, like I say, I did not come from the easiest upbringing. A wise woman, as I was describing, what I had gone through in a lot of ways, she basically said, next time you have somebody tear you down like that, if you, and same thing I'll say to you, I'll pay it forward. If you ever have someone try and dim your light, tear you down, tell you something like, I pray for you every day. The best response back to that is spell pray. Are you praying on me or are you praying for me? Just saying. So before we go, music meditation. That's where meditation is our power. G sharp and F sharp is what we pulled in this reading, and then color therapy wise as well, because color is vibration too. We've got indigo, and then we also have green. Speaks a lot to our voice chakra, our throat chakras, and then also to our third eye, our connection to our commitments, following our intuition, our soul's language, our soul's direction, and knowing what we truly sign up for, the decisions and agreements that we give consent to. And remember, same thing as even just a little old video. Choosing, are we going to choose something that brings joy, makes us laugh, raises our vibration, gives us knowledge, helps us be more aware of our consciousness? Or do you choose something that lowers your vibration through pain, sadness, apathy, destruction, vulgarity, vulnerabilities in ways that are not our strengths, but instead like things of abuses? You make the conscious effort with what you receive, and with every video that you click on, every choice that you make, you consent or you choose not to consent in how you give your power or how you receive power. And so I truly hope that this reading helps. I am sending you guys so much love and light. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will see you next week in the next reading.